What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Watch It in Action. I'm BouseFeenux, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Broken War. So this was a weapon that a lot of you had requested, and what my original plan was to get through all the primary weapons, the secondary weapons, and then the melee weapons in order for the website. So making videos for primaries, then secondaries, and melee, but man, I gotta tell you guys really twisted my arm on this one. A lot of you were wanting melee weapons, and what I think I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a primary weapon one day, a secondary weapon another, and then a melee another day. So kind of keep it mixed up for you guys so you can get a variety of different weapons so you're not just seeing primaries all the time. And I think that's a pretty good idea too, and I think a lot of you would agree with that. But basically, the Broken War is a new weapon that just came out with Update 18, and you get it from finishing the second Dream Quest, which if you haven't played that yet, it is freaking phenomenal, and you should definitely do so. So at the end of the quest, you're actually awarded this weapon, and it's one of the most damaging melee weapons in the game. It has the highest base damage out of any single sword weapon in the game, and that's pretty impressive because the Dragon Nakana and the Dakra Prime were kind of right behind that, but this weapon has kind of usurped them from their throne. And, you know, that being said, let's take a look at the build here real quick and see what we've got. So this is kind of a weird melee build, but it works. You'll notice we're using True Steel, but no Organ Shatter, and I'll explain that here in a second. But the first mod is a no-brainer. We're going to be using Pressure Point just to increase our overall melee damage. And then we're going to be using some 90% elemental mods here. We've got Fever Strike, Shocking Touch, and Molten Impact. And when they're arranged in this order, we get Corrosive and Heat. So that's really good on a slash weapon. You're going to want some kind of corrosive to bring their armor down, and then that slash is going to attack the health, and the heat is actually going to help with that as well. So corrosive and heat is good. You can use any elemental you want, though, depending on what you're fighting. Berserker is a very important mod for this build, and essentially as we get critical attacks, as we get critical hits and stuff like that, it's going to increase the attack speed of the weapon up to a certain percentage. I think it's up to 75%. For 24 seconds, and every time you get a crit, that counter resets. So if you're constantly hitting enemies, you could have that increased attack speed for a very long time. True Steel we're using because that raises our critical chance and allows us to proc Berserker more. The weapon does enough damage that we don't really need to put on Organ Shatter, but instead I've gone with, you know, these elemental mods here, and then Fury just helps us attack a little faster until we start getting those crits. Life Strike is an arguable mod. I really like having Life Strike on a lot of my builds. The only problem, I mean, really, you can put this on, it doesn't really matter, but a lot of people like to switch this out for something else. I like Life Strike, and of course you want to have it unranked, because if you have it ranked up too high, it's going to cost way too much to channel this, and you're gonna lose a lot of energy trying to get your health back. So, that being said, I want to take this out, and I want to show you guys this weapon in action real quick. We'll see how it works. So I'm going to try this on these Corrupted Butchers here, because, you know, they're my favorite little test dummies. I like torturing them, I don't know why. But they work pretty good for demonstrating weapons, because they don't actually shoot you, and it makes it easy to get around them, especially at such a high level. I just die all the time. But as you can see, I mean, this thing does pretty spectacular damage. I mean, we're just already just tearing right through these guys. And then that Crimson Dervish, that's a really important stance mod to be using on this weapon. That's where a lot of our DPS is going to come from. And here at the end of the video, real quick, I want to show you guys how to execute some of these combos that I'm doing. They're actually a lot easier than you would think they are, but as you can see, we're just doing tons of damage. That Life Strike is getting our health back because we're getting in there, we're getting beat up a little bit, and that helps us get some health back. And the cool thing about Crimson Dervish, too, is that it's also opening these enemies up to finishers, which is really good to get that last little bit of health off, or if you hit them, like, early on, then it pretty much takes their whole health bar away. So, I mean, that's pretty much the weapon. I mean, you see how much damage it does? It's ridiculous. It actually moves pretty fast. We got the Berserker up there next to our health bar that's counting down, giving us our little crit chance there. But real quick, before we end this, I want to show you guys the melee combos real quick. So, we have our E-spam right here, that's Crimson Orbit. Then we have the Twisting Flurry, which is the down E combo. And to execute that, essentially all we're going to do is just hold down on the keyboard. So hold S, and then just hit E, and that's going to execute that combo every time for you. The only problem with down combos now is they changed them a little bit to where you're actually moving backwards as you're trying to execute them. It's really annoying, and I don't really use them much anymore, but, you know, if you like that kind of thing, if you find it useful, then go for it. That's how you execute it. The most useful combo of this stance is going to be that right-click one, and essentially all you do is you hold block, which is your right-click, and then you attack, and it's going to do that combo every time for you. There's no timing involved. You just hold down the right-click, and you're good to go. The only ones that are really hard to execute are the pause combos and the hold combos, but I think I even am starting to figure out how to cheese those a little bit. But You know, I appreciate you guys watching this video. I appreciate all the support that I've been getting lately. It's just been insane on the Twitch stream and on here and for the website. You guys are fantastic. I really love you guys. Thank you so much for watching these Watch It in Action videos. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you haven't visited BouseFeenux.com yet, I highly recommend you do so. This build, as well as a text write-up and this video, is going to be included on the website, and I'll include that in the description. And, you know, just thank you guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you at the next video. Have a good one.